Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, doing something a little bit different that I'm excited about. So I have all the houses in Starfield right now, and I don't really have a good eye for design, but I wanted my spaces to feel like lived in, like actual breathable, livable spaces. So I actually recruited my wife because she plays a lot of house flipper. I was like, hey, can you come in here and like flip my Starfield homes and make them look the way I want? You know, kind of just give her some ideas of how I want this space to feel. And I just let her run with it. And I think it turned out great. I was really happy with it. So I figured I would share it with you guys. Hopefully you enjoy this as well. And if you do, let me know by leaving a like in the video if you want to see more of my wife doing stuff on the channel. She has a great energy and she's smoking hot. And let us know if there's any other properties specifically you want to see her bring her creativity to here in Starfield. Okay, so here's the apartment. Don't judge me too harshly. Okay, so this is where my ranger lives.
Okay.
So he's like a Wild West ranger, so it's kind of dusty wood, whiskey with, the X's on it, leather chair.
It's a man cave.
Yeah. It's
a bachelor pad.
There's a lot of empty space.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a globe. Do I get points? And I've got horns. I'm horny.
Oh my gosh.
I've got a bowl of lime. The bowl is sunken down into
through the counter.
I can fix that. I can
fix it.
I can do this.
You don't need to. It's fine.
All I have to do is I just have to eat it.
No.
Can I eat you?
No.
I'm eating the lime. The lime's sinking. Okay, no, it did it. You know what? You can do whatever you want with the limes.
Okay.
But yeah, I do need at least one lime to be preserved.
Got it.
This is my bedroom. I have a curtain, but if I'm naked, people can still see me through here.
Is your character married? Or is he trying to impress the ladies? Because none of this is impressing me right now. So technically, he needs a woman's touch.
In this playthrough, this dude is married to Sarah, and I'm gonna be real with you. She's really annoying. She's kind of...
Wow. Do you talk about me like this?
Never. I never do.
Baloney.
Never. I know better. But, yeah, so just to, make it look...
better.
Yeah, stick with the aesthetic if you want, I don't think like a UC Vanguard futuristic space theme is going to work in this space.
So not like uber modern.
Probably not.
Go with kind of what's Akila City, the
right.
feel of it.
That's exactly right. Okay. And if it goes over well, then maybe I'll have you flip my other, I've got big penthouse ones. I've got a bigger house here in Akila as well. And then I've got some houses that I've actually built out on some pretty cool planets too, so.
Can I make in-game a life-size cardboard cutout of Clint Eastwood?
Of Clint Eastwood?
From the good, the bad, and the ugly.
You could probably just stack things up to look like Clint Eastwood. Like, this could be his head, and these would be like his
eyes,
his shoes. Well, yeah, you could turn them sideways and get some eyes going on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll wow the ladies for sure.
So,
Sarah's going to be like, wow, I really picked a winner here.
She says weird things when you wake up next to her, too. She's like, next time, let's try it without the backpacks. And I could be wrong, but I think she's talking about sex.
No.
That's kind of the vibe I get.
She's probably talking about negotiations.
Aggressive
negotiations.
With a lightsaber. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
I'm gonna do my best, sweetie.
Okay, I trust you. I want you to know that. All right, you're all finished?
Hopefully.
How much time did you put into this?
So, all in all, I think I probably spent maybe 3.5, 4 hours total on this. But a lot of that was trying to figure out the arrangement of things, where I wanted to put things, problem solving, certain things we had talked about before I went into it, that kind of stuff. So if somebody was to recreate something similar with the same layout, it shouldn't take them nearly as long.
Okay, cool. Let's see it.
All right, so this is your living room
Look at
area
this.
With a desk. I want, like you had mentioned, you wanted it to feel kind of a rough and ranger kind of feel, like a bachelor pad. So I didn't really find any sofas in the game that gave me that kind of ranger vibe.
Yeah, well, I like those chairs, actually.
But yeah, I've got a little whiskey bottle here for you, some playing cards.
But of course.
little two TVs because
you even have like the tables decorated and everything.
Oh yeah, and you've got little board games and stuff,
Sure.
that kind of stuff.
I love it.
One of the things we had talked about was you said you could kind of see through into the bedroom.
Yeah.
There. So I used this mirror and a plant as a way to kind of break up the space, and then you have less access into that. Obviously.
Sure, so people aren't getting icy with your hanky panky.
Yes, yeah. So a lot of it was just moving things and decorating. I mean, adding little knickknacks here and there, that kind of decor, that is what makes it feel homey and feel lived in instead of like
that's right,
just basic. But one of the things I wanted to address was I ran into a problem that set me back a lot. And that was the fact that not a lot of items wouldn't place on these bottom places right here. So I know we had talked about it a little bit and you're like, oh, just press E, but not even doing that, a lot of the knickknacks and little decor items still wouldn't just free flow into place.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to abandon this bottom shelf.
Sure.
To that. So we'll just, pretend that maybe you have a dog and you
yeah, you don't want to have things on the bottom shelf.
But just being able to add plants. I'm all about adding plants and making a room feel homey. So the bedroom, I flipped the bed. You remember you had it up against that wall.
Yeah, that's right.
The light. I flipped it over here. Gave you some little side tables, one for your lovely Sarah and one for you.
Oh, I'm ditching her.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we have the little rug underneath it?
Yeah, rugs add a lot. You're breaking up space. We did that over here.
Right.
Rugs and plants are kind of my obsession, but gave you a little shelf with maybe some of your take home trophies and that kind of stuff. And then, I think it does a pretty good job of splitting that up with the plant and the mirror. Just really
no doubt.
Make that. A lot better, but I could not do a whole lot in the bathroom.
Yeah, everything's preset in the bathroom.
You're pretty limited. So the one thing I did add was some shelves here to kind of give you that. Oh, my toilet paper is phasing through the shelf.
That does happen.
Love that.
Sometimes quick saves will fix that. So it's not a huge deal.
But you had this empty space here, and I thought, well, there's really no storage in the bathroom, and one of the biggest problems is having storage. So I added these little shelves. Yeah, I added these little shelves. It gives you a purpose for that corner, and also, the feel of having that storage. I added some towels here and another little rug and this little pedestal here with the plant.
Love that.
And that's your cozy / not so cozy bathroom. So coming back into here. And then moving our way around. I actually really liked your shelf with the horns, so I decided to keep that and just kind of designate that the dining area, and gave you 3. I didn't want this table to come too far out, so instead of having 4, you have 3 places. I would have loved to have set the table, because when I do my own game, when I play House Flipper, I always set the table
everything,
because it looks amazing. It looks really good. Unfortunately, the plates and the forks and the spoons and the knives were all phasing through the table. No matter how I placed them.
Until they patch that, I think that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, it just didn't. It did not look good. So I kept your chest here because I felt like you want it to look nice, but you also want it to be functional. And so I put those in spaces where I didn't feel like they were in the way, taking up a lot of space. Yeah. And
I love this big potted plant.
Yeah, these planters are really cool. I wasn't 100% sure what to do with this area because I added these shelves over here, which I want to talk about in a second. Oh, things are phasing through. There we go. But I didn't want to add more shelves here and make it feel cluttered. I had added shelves on the other side to kind of give you, you're breaking up the space between the dining room and the living room a little bit more with adding those shelves and adding things on the shelves. But I felt like it was a little too repetitive to do the same on the other side.
Yeah, right. I feel you.
Especially with these, what I'm calling pantry shelves over here. So the planter kind of fills that void pretty well and helps, again, to kind of make that feel like a full wall. Even if it's not a full wall, you're still breaking up the space a little bit, if that makes sense. I added some little things here, a little coffee station
Yeah, a little
for
coffee
you.
area.
This shelf was already here, so I just threw a couple things on it, make it feel like this is a functional kitchen. This is what you use. Got your little hanging plant here. A couple more storage things that unfortunately are all phasing through. They looked so good before I left the house. And then I wanted to touch base on this a little bit.
Okay.
I had a real struggle here because there are, storage shelves units that you can build.
Yeah.
And I fully intended on using those to store all of your little pantry items, just to kind of give this a feel, again, lived in. It feels homey. The problem being, I ran into that problem again over here.
Yeah, that's right.
Things didn't want to go on the shelf. So my workaround, instead of building a shelf that I couldn't put things on, was what I did was I built some wall shelves. And what you want to do if you're gonna go down this route, start with your bottom shelf
and then go up. Yeah.
Put stuff on it. Go to your next shelf. Put stuff on it. But yeah, that's what I came up with.
Yeah, well, I love it. It looks like it. The thing I like is it doesn't look like a space that I bought it and then I just threw some stuff in it. It actually looks like you walked into an NPC's home that was already made up by the developer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you were just going through Akila City and you walked into someone's house. This is what you would see.
Right. Exactly. And that was the goal of what I was going for. Is I wanted that Akila City feel to it, that it didn't feel out of place. That's something we talked about, because my favorite couches and sofas were the white ones, and I'd love to build something like that, but it doesn't fit for this space. So I wanted everything to feel like it fit, and I was very particular, even looking at some of the vases and stuff that you had. I excluded anything too brightly colored because I didn't feel like that worked well with Akila, with the feel of Akila. It's kind of more almost like a futuristic Western.
Yeah, that's
town.
Exactly right.
And so I really wanted everything in it to just give you that feel of, yes, it's the future, but we are living in...
We're on the frontier.
We're on the frontier, exactly. So that's kind of what I was hoping to attain, and yeah.
Well, I love it, babe. Thanks so much for doing that.
Yeah, it's
fun. If you guys watched the video, if you were like, hey, this is actually pretty cool, now I have an idea how to lay out these spaces for my own home, then let me know in the comments section too if there's another property you would like to see us do this to. So you've got the penthouse in Neon City. Even a fun one could be to see what you could do with just the sleep crate in Neon. And then beyond that, you've got the big penthouse up in New Atlantis. When you finish the UC Vanguard quest line, that place is enormous and hyper futurist. There's just lots of options. So let us know if you have any recommendations for what you'd like us to do next.